Okay, the channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Adventure on so many levels. We're going to play Blades 68.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Groovy.
Very groovy.
I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the Game Master. Our players tonight, Vesper Varden, aka Silhouette, played by Mark Kilfoyle.
Hello, one and all.
Falwell Stoke, aka Crash, played by Paul Fisher.
Good evening.
Pyretta Blaze, aka Red, played by Jenny Meltzer.
Hi.
And together they are inSPECTRE. In
Keep telling you, it's inspectors.
this world of swinging spies and groovy gunplay.
And shag carpet.
And shag carpet. Yes, so when we last left our heroes, they had been trying to recover from their latest caper where they secured a pair of new informants to help out their criminal enterprise. But before they had a chance really to even start recovering, they happened to run into a rogue bluecoat who was angry about being told to let the case go after your original thing and tried to come and arrest you. And now you managed to turn this around and make it something very much in your favor, because now the secret briefcase that was the heart of that mystery, you still have the actual contents in your possession, but you have made the bluecoats think that they recovered the briefcase only to have it self-destruct everything inside. So now at least the bluecoats believe the briefcase that they've been told to recover to be recovered, if not intact. So at least part of the pressure related to that is now lifted. But where we stand now as far as the cycle of the gameplay that we're in right now is that we have completed the action of what's called the Trouble Engine, and now you will have the opportunity to be in free play / downtime activities. But before we jump into that, just one little meta discussion about the rules. We were talking about this just briefly before starting the stream, but it's worth noting that in this game, the players are more involved with the meta narrative and doing some of the world building and world creation more so than in a game like Dungeons and Dragons, for example. So like as I put our stream visuals here back on the Roll20 screen, we have all of these different faction clocks that we've been ticking during these between job activities. And we were just discussing is like, well, as players, do you know about these clocks? And the answer is, as players, yes. As characters, not really. But my choice of which clocks to reflect here is a reflection in the meta of which factions are involved in the primary mystery here. And so we have some in-fiction reasons why any of them might be of interest. And if the players feel like the characters would want to know more about what each of these factions is up to, then you can investigate that in-game and do perhaps some gather information rolls or other such activity to try to figure out maybe what each of these organizations is up to. Being aware that the higher a tier each faction might be is going to reflect how easy it is to find out their deepest, darkest secrets. So, with that all said, I think we are... was there any other questions before we just move on to downtime stuff?
Nope.
No.
All right. So the other piece of the downtime action is we decided that Crash jury-rigging the briefcase to explode and seem to destroy the documents inside counted as one of his main downtime actions. So normally each of you is allowed 2 downtime actions, so you've used one, but you can also spend stacks your currency to gain additional ones if you feel like that's worthwhile to you. And okay, great. So I think then we're ready to do downtime actions. So tell me who would like to make a downtime action.
Well, I did check off one backing faction help.
Uh-huh.
So do I need to do the return the favor
So
roll?
it's a good question. The answer right now is no, because we did per the mechanic, you do that at the start of this sort of this phase, which we did before you did your request help. So
Okay.
the next time you do a job and we get back into this mode of play, you will do it then.
Okay.
So do
And I'll
keep it marked that
keep it checked.
that you requested it, but we don't have to do the payback yet because we did that once for this cycle already.
Okay.
Yes, but yes, the more you request their help, the more likely you're going to have to do something specific for them to make up for it.
I know that I have to indulge vice because once again, my stress is through the roof.
Well, and not only that, but I think just generally, even if you didn't need to resolve stress, I think that per the mechanics, if you don't indulge vice, you take stress, I believe.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so personal business. We're in this phase. So is that you saying you would like to go ahead and do your indulge vice move?
Yeah.
All right. So, as we had established the last time, your particular vice is what?
Gambling.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of it.
So, since you're doing this before having, so I guess here's the question. Would you have gone to do this before trying to recover from your injuries? Because if you want to, you have your injuries like you were electrocuted. You have some of those harms. And it is your downtime activity to have Falwell try to heal you.
Oh.
So you want to indulge vice, but would you do that before getting treated for your injuries? I think that's maybe interesting, but up to you to decide.
I think he would actually, because he needs to calm down. He's on edge and he needs that adrenaline rush to kind of reset a little bit and possibly literally ground himself.
All right. So let's just take a look. Right now, I guess you have a critical electrocuted harm, right? This is level 3. That basically level 3 is like, it is only just short of potentially lethal.
Remind me again how harm affects things, aside from narratively.
So what it does is we handle it narratively. I will account for it when I judge things like effect and what's how risky it is, position.
Okay.
I will account for it in those ways. But then also, if you recall, when we were doing the trouble engine, it makes you have to roll for personal consequences. And that's actually how we got that arrest result.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So that happened as a complication there. So it's kind of like it's a metafictional connection, right? Like the harm itself doesn't narratively directly lead to the trouble, but that's part of the mechanic. Otherwise, we just handle it narratively in terms of me interpreting your position and effect.
Right. Okay.
But tell me what you look like as you walk into the casino tonight.
I think that part of the effect of the electrocution is just that he's had a ton of static electricity still kind of hanging around. So he's wearing clothing that's probably silk. Is it silk? What's a non static clingy kind of clothing?
Silk is actually what you like rub on
Yeah, that's
plastic
the
to
opposite.
build the static electricity.
So what would it be? Like rubber?
Now,
Would
what
rubber
you
work?
actually
Or leather?
if you wanted something to just like continually ground you, so you didn't build a charge, you might literally have like a grounding wire designed to like trail behind you on the ground.
Yeah, leather and chains.
There we go. Yeah, he'll pick out his leather outfits and then use some of the chains that he's got that one will just dangle. He'll put it on an ankle so it kind of dangles
Yeah.
behind him. He doesn't know if that's going to work. His rec is 0. So yeah, he doesn't know if that's going to work. Oh, he's got a 1 in Tinker, so he's got a weird idea.
Do you have like burns? Or is this
I think
literally just
I think it's one of those things where his hair is not sat down since he got electrocuted, and no matter what he does, it just stands up on its own. Probably
instead
wearing
of
a
your
little
normal slicked back, it
Right.
looks like a
It's just
pompadour because it keeps trying to
puffed
stand
up
back up.
and it looks kind of punkish, but not planned.
All right.
And probably wearing more cologne than normal because there's a slight burning smell that's kind of just there, and he's not really sure where it's come from. And it might be because the nose hair is burned, and he's just smelling it himself. But
it's like you keep catching just like a whiff of what smells like cooked meat, and you realize, oh God, that's
gotta be me. Yeah, yeah. So a little jittery, probably a little bit overindulgent on the free cocktails as he's gambling as well, which is probably not going to make his gambling any better. But yeah, we'll see. I have a feeling this will be overindulgent just for fun. Although I guess I can't overindulge because I'm super stressed.
Well, so I think so that does seem unlikely if you have more stress than you could possibly recover.
Yeah.
So you make your way to your usual table?
Yeah, I call up Carter and say, have it ready for me.
Yeah, so I think you walk in and he says, "Good evening, Mr. Varden. Are you all right?"
I'm fine. Just a little on edge.
He does a little bit of like a surreptitious glance up to like the cameras in the ceiling because he's really not supposed to like address the state that his gamblers are in, right? It's not like done, right? It's supposed to be he's just not supposed to notice anything like that, but because you actually have this connection to him, he's like does have some apparent degree of actual concern for you as a person. But you say it's fine, and he's like, very well. Your usual game?
I'm feeling spicy. Let me try something a little different. Something with higher stakes, maybe.
I
get a feeling too that he's also cinched the leather really tight, so he's not really able to move that much anyway, and it's better that way.
Are you still looking for a game of chance or perhaps some sort of event? I believe that there is a championship bout this evening.
Oh, yeah. Those aren't risky enough. Let's go for a pure game of chance.
What's your pleasure? Dice? Cards? The roulette wheel, perhaps?
Roulette's fun, but I think I'm going to stick with dice. They're grounded.
Well, I suppose once they land.
Made of stone.
If they are made of stone.
Right.
I mean, I think most of the ones we use here are plastic.
Do we have any stone dice or anything non-plastic?
He kind of like he considers it for a moment and says, "For you, sir, I'll find some."
I appreciate that. That's why I keep coming back and I bring tips. If I win.
So he actually dismisses himself, and another dealer takes over the table for a while he goes off in search of those. I think someone brings you a fancy drink. They know you well enough to know what you drink. What would they bring you?
It's probably an outrageous cocktail. with a multicolored umbrella on one side and an entire pineapple ring just on the inside of the rim.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very sugary, and it probably has as much sugar as alcohol at this point.
Mm-hmm. I'm just suddenly imagining like forming an accidental chemical battery somehow. Um, but no, I think not. So I think that after a few minutes, Carter returns and he says, "We have found a pair of dice made from marble recovered from an ancient temple to the gods back when we believed in that sort of thing."
Any particular gods or just the general temples?
Well, the temple was destroyed by a cataclysm when the sun exploded, is my understanding of the history. So I
Okay,
don't think we know, but it was a temple to
good.
something.
Good, good. That sounds very rare, unlikely to have any connection to the modern world. I like it a lot.
Well, you might say that all of the bad luck that this stone could have ever had is used up, and what remains must be lucky.
Well, let's not go that far. If it's going to be risky, there has to be an equal amount of bad and good luck, or even more bad luck than good. But I take your meaning, and I
Hmm.
appreciate the thought.
You may inspect the dice if you see fit.
I'll look at him very closely. Nah, I trust you.
All right, so let's maybe do your indulge vice roll here to kind of reflect how this goes.
Oh boy. So this is
So,
going to be my lowest attribute roll, which is a
right.
0.
Yeah. So, and that's going to probably continue to be the case until you all start using, your character advances to change that. But yes, so resolve is your lowest attribute, and so you're going to roll 0d6, which means it'll roll 2, and you choose the lower, and then you're going to clear the amount of stress equal to the highest, or the highest result in this case, the result of the lower of the two die.
All right. And where did my window pop up? There it is. No bonus dice. 5 and a 4.
Oh, look at that! That's not bad, all things considered.
All
Yeah. So,
right.
so this is the suffer 6 stress minus the highest die result is if you were doing it as a consequence resistance, but in this case, it means you are going to clear 4 stress. So,
All right.
good for
Done.
you. All right, great. So I think I think you have a good evening. Meaning, it's not a jackpot, but I think over the course of a few hours, you come out modestly ahead.
I figure it's one of those nights where the stack grows to, the time lapse stack
Mm-hmm.
grows and then stack shrinks down till there's just a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more than when I started with. And I give Carter a good tip.
Nice. Thank you, sir.
I'll
And
be back again.
good luck with everything that you are pursuing.
Some say that fashion is a choice. I say it's kind of a weapon, not always used by you.
Profound, sir.
Maybe. Keep those dice warm.
It's actually, I was just thinking about how, they would typically feel cool, but then they retain the heat. They have what's called thermal mass, but they're conductive, unlike plastic.
Maybe there's still a connection to those old gods in there somewhere, a little spiritual battery.
Maybe so. I'll keep them ready for your next visit, sir.
Indeed, indeed.
All right, cool. So, who else has a downtime action you would like to do?
I would like to see if I could use one of my downtime actions to get some healing from my good friend.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like you currently have a level 2 arm shot wound, but you have 3 out of 4 of your healing clock filled out. So it's a good chance you're gonna get some improvement this go around.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. So for recover, because your good friend Falwell here has the anatomist special ability. Um, Falwell, you are going to make this recovery roll. I'm trying to pull up. Yeah, so everyone in your crew gets plus 1d to their healing treatment rolls. So you are doing a tinker roll plus 1.
Okay. Tinker roll plus
with,
1.
Yeah. And so, wow, and you've got 3 in tinker now. So,
Yep.
So that's 4d6, which is pretty good.
Is it a fortune roll?
Well, no, it's tinker.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so your healer
but it's
rolls,
not risky, control, desperate.
Right, yeah. So it's basically just I guess it's a fortune roll. Yeah.
Fortune roll.
Yeah.
Right. Fortune standard, 1 bonus die. 5, 5, 1, 1.
Okay, so that a 5 means that's you're going to fill 2 segments and clear all level 1 harm. So basically, what that means for you, Pyretta, is marking 2 segments will fill your clock once and then have 1 left over. So you're going to.
I only need 1, right?
Well,
because I have 3 filled right now.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying is that clear the clock and then put 1 back in there because that carries over. And then your arm shot is reduced from a level 2 major to a level 1 passing to reflect that it's healing now and recovering.
So what should I put as the wound type?
Well, let's see. So I think it's
itchy scab.
Yeah. Like bandaged arm,
Okay.
Yeah. You got it in a sling?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's much better than it was before that.
All right. Great. So do you have any sort of bedside manner talk that you want to do? You don't have to role play the scene unless you want to. I'm just offering.
I would be like talking to him about why I'm doing this. Just be like, so I really want to take Goodridge over to meet my friend Zofran, and like he's been super worried about me lately because I keep getting hurt, I keep wrecking cars. So like I really appreciate you doing this for me.
Not a problem. The Helotron 3000 is going to fix you up real nice.
Thank you so much. I'll be glad when this thing's gone.
Amputation settings selected.
Don't do that.
I'm also just reminded here that for any downtime activity, you can take plus 1d to the roll if a friend, rival, or contact helps you. And it specifically says to be liberal with this because it's an excuse to bring your contacts and other PCs into your scenes. And so, like, if you wanted to have done that, you could have done that, Mark, for your Indulged Vice. Like, so in the future, like, that's an option. If you want to bring another character, could be a PC or an NPC, along when you do one of these downtime activities, you can.
Ah, okay.
And then I think that I wonder what that means as far as the recover, because I feel like it's already kind of implied there. You know what? Maybe it would still count as another +1 on there if someone. So it wouldn't help for you doing it to yourself, Falwell, but it would help for. Yeah. So in any case, yes. So remember that if you want to bring someone on your downtime activity, you can.
I find it rude that the game refuses to give me help if I have somebody else like
Well,
hold the mirror for me while
I think
sew
that what we
myself
can
up.
say is that if we want to say you bring someone in on the scene to help you, then you get the +1d for it.
That would be nice.
Okay. So I didn't mean to interrupt if you were having a little scene there.
No,
Yeah.
it's all good.
All right. So, and then the other reminder is, so now each of you has used one downtime action, and you have another, but you can also pay 1 stack or 1 rep for each additional downtime activity.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Before any more downtime activities. Now, Lloyd is broken.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to use a downtime activity to try to fix him, and how would that work?
No, I believe, let me confirm that, but I believe that he recovers automatically at like a rate. Let's see. Because it's a cohort rule. Let's see. Let me find the cohorts rules. Yes, 93. Yeah, when you have a cohort, when you use a cohort harm and healing. Suffer harm similarly to PCs. Cohort can suffer 4 levels of harm. Broken is level 3. If a cohort is destroyed, it can be replaced. Spend stacks. So if it can be replaced by spending stacks equal to your tier +2 to restore it if it's destroyed.
Right.
Plus a downtime activity. Let's see. Where was this? Suffer harm.
Do they get
I
downtime
felt
actions?
like I think, well, you know what? Maybe it's oh, okay. So each cohort gets 1 downtime action per personal business phase. They cannot pay for more. They can choose to recover 2 levels of harm for their downtime action. Which also means that we should be doing a downtime action for Slade as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
I think for your little Sparkcraft pocket watch, Falwell. What was her name?
Yeah, Francesca.
Francesca. Yeah, so cohorts get that. The other ones that they can do is assist, which is to assist a PC with their downtime activity if they have relevant skills. You get a bonus die equal to the cohort's quality. If they have the relevant skills, they can work on a long-term project by themselves, roll their quality. You can also have them reduce heat, rolling their quality.
Ah, good.
okay, so he can just use his downtime then and remove 2 of these and then just be
Yes.
weak, right? Okay.
Right. Yeah. So he is reduced effect, but no longer is broken. So I know that we've established the game of Lloyd is that even within our game only, Pyretta can see him and talk to him. But give us a picture of what this looks like. What do the others see you doing? How is this playing out, this recovery time for Lloyd?
I think it looks absolutely ridiculous because I'm like talking to him like he's my baby and I'm helping him feel better and I can help you with this. Just let me do it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like I'm actually talking to somebody, but there's nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
And like the motions that I take look like I'm actually doing something, like removing bandages or whatever. It's very intricate, and for all intents and purposes, it looks like I'm really helping somebody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Somebody who's not there.
I want to know how Lloyd feels about how that all went down.
Lloyd is not happy. Because I took his loyalty
Mm-hmm.
a little too far by asking him to do it.
He's so is this an element where, like, because one of his edges is that he's loyal, but is this a case where maybe his loyalty has been damaged, or is this more of a case of it's the thing where, like, he's still loyal, and he's looking to you like, you know, like a little puppy that you yelled at. Like he's still, and sort of like, you know, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to help even more, and but you are feeling guilty, or is he actually mad?
I feel guilty. I don't think he's mad so much as he's
Mhm.
just disappointed because we have
Mhm.
that kind of rapport that we work really well together.
Mhm.
But to take advantage of, you know, the fact that he's loyal enough to ask him to do something that would put him in
Mhm.
harm's way, knowingly.
I mean, you
Like,
know,
I think he's going to be distrusting for a while.
well, you know, he did it to help you though, right? Like it was to take the hit for you. So,
Yeah, but I don't know if he would have offered to do that
sure. Mhm.
on his own rather than
Mhm.
just being like, no, you do it.
Yeah.
So
All
I
right, great.
think I think it'll be like there'll be a little bit of hesitation for a
Mhm.
while until like the trust is regained.
Yeah. Okay.
Poor Lloyd.
All right. So, who else would like to do a downtime action?
Um, I would like to indulge my vice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
I'm going to go see Chef Lisanne at the Golden Plum.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
Are you going
as
to
we
invite
established,
anybody to go with you for dinner?
yeah, I was also going to say, as we established with Vesper, would you be doing this before attempting to treat your nasty bruise that you've got, your major wound, this nasty bruise?
um, I would have to because I've got 6 out of 9
Mm-hmm.
stress
I
filled.
so, but remember, you can pay a stack to do an extra downtime if you want.
Yeah, but I only have one.
If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm just trying to establish in the fiction if you're walking into the restaurant with a big nasty bruise.
Although you're going to have to if you want to heal yourself.
What do you,
Because you spent one downtime action building the bomb case.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. If I
So
want
you
to heal
only have
myself, I'm going to
one.
have to
Yeah.
spend it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
So,
mean, you can leave it there. That's just that's the resource economy of this game.
yeah,
You
all
know, you
right.
have to choose.
I'll burn a stack to heal myself.
Okay, so we're doing
And
that first then.
yeah,
Okay.
and Red, would you be so good as to hold the mirror while I uh,
Yep, you
work
got
on
it.
my healing?
Okay. So I think that as a result for this, you know, you can take 2 stress when you do it, but you're
Hmm.
otherwise going to roll the tinker as we established before. Or
Right.
if you can't take 2 stress.
Well, I can. I
Okay.
still have one
Yeah.
one spot left.
Okay.
All
So
right.
if you take 2 stress, you are getting your it's even one more on top of the way you did it before because you've got
Okay.
another character helping you,
Right.
and your own traits, your anatomist trait.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Look at that. That's a 6. So with a 6, which means you would clear, you would add 3 segments, and I don't think you had actually filled any stress on there before.
No.
So what that means is that you're filling 3 segments on your healing clock, which means you don't reduce the nasty bruise, but you do clear the grazed and bruised ego level 1 harms.
Okay.
And then also if you let's see, yeah, I think you can also, if I'm trying to remember, you can I was trying to remember if you could also pay to mark more. I don't think so. So in any case, what that means is you've cleared the level 1 harm, The nasty bruise is, still at level 2, but you're, you're at 3 out of 4 on your healing clock for next time.
Right.
Okay. Great. So doing a little better. What is this nasty bruise that remains? Is it visible, or are you just like really sensitive on one side, or what?
I'm really sensitive on one side. Like it's uh under my left arm, uh just the side of my ribs is just a
Mm-hmm.
solid mass of black and blue.
Mm. So it's kind of like you go to take off your coat going into the restaurant. And it's like, oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, so if you want, we can go ahead and just go right into the this your indulge vice.
Yeah.
Are you bringing someone along?
I was
It
gonna
doesn't have to be one of the PCs, although it can be. So you could be an NPC as well.
well, Syl wanted to go. Red, do you also want to go?
I do have plans,
Okay.
but I appreciate the invitation. Maybe next time.
All right. Boys' night out on the town.
Sounds great. What should I wear?
Oh, dress to impress.
Okay, who am I impressing? You, a potential mate for the evening, business people, crooks.
Potential mate for the evening. A
All
lovely
right.
lady.
All right. Well, this time I will break out the silks then, just to risk it a little bit, but extra chains maybe to also dangle.
Yeah.
Maybe bells on the sleeves, just cause.
All right. Rings on your fingers and bells on your toes. Here we goes.
Yeah. So you travel together to the Six Towers district where the Golden Plum restaurant is.
Mm-hmm.
You have your regular table, but is this the first time you've brought someone, or
No. We've done or I've done uh like tastings with guests before
mm-hmm,
and made it more of a social uh environment
mm-hmm,
rather than just dinner. And I was gonna check in to see if Chef Lizanne was doing any tastings tonight, and if we could join that little party if there was room.
mm-hmm. Okay. I think that yeah, that they have uh, they have a very special offer tonight where it's basically presented as a jam tasting, but that obviously this is not going to be like, oh look, this one's strawberry and this one's marmalade. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
be more interesting than that.
Oh
But that
yes.
but jam tasting is all that is kind of like that's the special tonight.
Well, uh, my goal is that we're not eating alone, that we're in the company of other people,
Oh
so we
sure, yeah.
get
So
to.
it's kind of like this is sort of like a little VIP sort of club sort
Mm-hmm.
of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
here I thought you were just inviting me. But I'm
right.
okay with this. More the merrier.
All right. Great. So, yeah, I think that, you arrive and this is a situation where there are little sort of fancified little mason jar looking, resembling vessels of different kinds of obvious jam and then different things to spread each on. But what you discover very quickly is even though, like, just the form factor is like a spreadable jam onto
Mm-hmm.
a piece of bread or a cracker or other sorts of things, that you pretty quickly discover that, like, oh, this one is like actually a caviar puree, and oh, that one is actually sort of it's a blended um, like grouse with a gravy, and then there's just all sorts
Mm.
of different, like there's savory and there's sweet and just all sorts of, like this one is like uh, miso with little chunks of like seaweed in there,
Mm.
and all of these are just designed to be sort of like spreadable, almost like hors d'oeuvres, but the sort of discovery as you sort of taste each one and each combination.
And while we're going through this, do we happen to find two young and lovely ladies that
Mm.
we can try and cozy up to?
Well, that sounds like perhaps a fortune roll. Is this something, do we think that each of you is kind of making your own effort in that regard, or is one of you making working with this rather than the others? I think incidentally, this is like this would be a consort role.
Okay. I have 0 in consort.
I'm kind of flashing back to SNL and one of the Steve Martin characters,
Mm-hmm.
the two guys that were I don't remember what they were called, like two
Two
crazy guys.
wild and crazy
Crazy
Yeah,
guys.
guys.
yeah. I'm kind of imagining that, and I
I'm
do
suddenly
imagine
thinking
having
of
the big
the
flared.
guys from the Night at the Roxbury doing the
Oh God.
"What is love, baby? Don't hurt me."
uh, we'll see how bad the roll goes, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think I
We can
will
work
give.
together on this.
Yeah. So this is a fortune roll. I will give each of you a bonus die just for circumstances here, that this is kind of this is a fancy elevated thing. Just the fact that you're already here gives you a little bit of a leg up. So you would each be able to roll 1 die rather than 0.
Okay.
Or we could have this be you could do your indulge vice roll, Falwell, and have that stand in for this.
Okay.
Which would be +1 die because I'm there, right?
Yes.
Right. All right. Indulge vice, bonus die 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
God.
All right. So yeah, that's a 2. Which means that
Well, no, I got. Why are we taking the lowest? Oh, clear an amount of stress to
well,
equal to
so
the
it
higher
looks like
result.
it didn't do your extra, because
Well, it has two dice, right?
yes, but what it's showing here is oh, you know what? Never mind. I thought the blue meant that it was okay. So the thing is, if you would have, okay, yeah. So you're okay. I'm sorry. I got confused. So you would have normally had 1 die for your lowest attribute roll, and you rolled 1 additional. I thought because it was showing 2 that it had done a 0d6 roll. It's fine. So 4 then means you can clear 4 stress.
Ah, I feel so much better.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting evening, although most of the time when my fingers end up sticky, it's because I've been doing some wet work. But this is much better.
So I
Yeah.
think, yeah, a 4 is kind of a middle of the road. I think that I think that this is, you get some nice flirting in, but I think that at least within this sort of rarefied community, there's maybe, I don't know. I think with a 4, there's well, look forward to seeing you at the next meeting, as opposed
Yeah.
to,
It's gonna need to build.
yeah.
It's a long-term project.
The anticipation will make the next meeting so much sweeter.
And so much more
Like
savory
the
too.
jam.
Yeah.
But like the peach one, not the salmon one.
Peach.
It's all a little crackers though.
Peachy salmon.
wouldn't
Salmon.
kick you out of bed for eating these crackers.
Mm.
You gonna put boots under the bed? That was the one my mom and my nana used to say all the time. She's like, he can put his boots under my bed anytime he wants to. Like, sure,
That's
Clint
great.
Eastwood's coming right over now.
And doesn't putting them under the bed imply that he like wore them into the house and everything?
Yeah,
Although I
like he just
suppose
waltzed straight in.
I suppose it's true also that like people who wear cowboy boots all the time are probably not. There's not as much overlap with the people who take their shoes off as soon as they come into a house because they're
Oh,
hard to
definitely.
remove.
Yeah.
Definitely. And she was like, she was born during the Depression, like
Mhm.
right before the Depression. So I'm sure,
Back when they had dirt floors, right?
yeah, like they just had dirt floors. She don't care. He's tramping mud all over. Whatever.
Yeah. All right. Well, in any case, okay. So I believe that's 2 plus an extra downtime activities for Falwell.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you have Francesca doing doing?
She's
She
yeah,
could,
she's still working on analyzing what we found in the briefcase.
right. So you're gonna have her do the research long term project role.
Yeah.
Okay, because that is her, one of her skills. Her quality is 1, and so this is a long-term project role with 1d6.
Okay. So 1d6. Ooh, she got a 5.
It looks like it rolled 2. I'm seeing 2 dice here.
Yeah, I set it for 1.
Okay.
Quality 1.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Never
bonus
mind.
dice. I did bonus dice. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. I was just trying to make sure. All right. I suppose the 5 was the first one.
Yeah. I would like to keep the 5 if that's okay.
All right, I guess that's fine. I feel like you're taking advantage a little bit there. That's okay. Yeah. So that means that you, with a 5, you can take 2 more ticks of that clock, which brings you to 5 of 6. And so, as we had kind of established, I've been giving you a little bit of information for sort of each tick, and you're still not, not entirely sure everything about it, right? Like you feel like there's still more to learn, and there's still a lot of mystery involved. What we had established last time was that. It's clearly for some kind of a rocket. There had been 4 previous attempts, but this is Blue Raker 5. There seems like there's confidence that they think this one's gonna do the job, despite the fact that the other 4 is like, well, we've solved the problems that caused the other 4 to fail.
Yeah. I mean, this is how you learn.
It's clear that there is some sort of like a modular payload space, that it's unclear what's supposed to go there, but just based on the design, you could imagine any number of different things could go there.
Like a giant ball with arms that pop out of it, and the head lifts up and shoots laser beams.
Yes, perhaps, if we were in The Incredibles. Or an RV with a very stretchy lady holding on real tight.
Yep.
In any case, yes, so could be those things. But I think what you learn this time is there's some strangeness related to the crew, because there's hang on, I'm trying to get to where the page is, just because I want to make sure I get these details right. There's definitely like facilities in there for having the crew be there. It's meant to be like a manned rocket,
Mm-hmm.
But there's also some stuff about, hey, where is this? Yeah, so there's simultaneously, there's also a significant space and expense and, like, launch weight that is devoted to what looks like having hulls, which are the the criminals are sometimes submitted to what's called the Lusk reform technique, where a criminal's echo is placed inside a robot body and then put to work to serve the good of society. And this is a, let's say, controversial procedure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it depends on who you ask, because, of course, all of the mainstream propaganda is that, isn't it wonderful that now we have something we can do with criminals to make them helpful to society?
Yep.
And but so it's, since there is a human crew, it's not clear what the hulls are supposed to be doing. So it's a little bit strange, because it feels a little bit like an odd sort of redundancy. Like, given how hulls usually work, like, there's a significant loss of fidelity. Like, the personality of the person that the echo is brought from is not preserved in the hull, right? Or it's a little unclear how much is or is not. But generally speaking, if you're taking a criminal and you're producing a hull that's going to do manual labor for you, the hull is not complaining about this, right? Because it's not, this is a Lusk reform technique, not just put the criminal so now it's a robot criminal, right? It's,
Right.
So there's a question of, like, but, like, generally speaking, the hulls that you see out there doing public works and stuff, or, security or whatever, like, they don't seem especially technically savvy. It's not clear what their role is. So why would there be hulls built? Like, why would the rocket be designed to carry them? It also is maybe a coincidence, but a little bit of a funny one, that there's space for exactly as many hulls as there are human crew members.
That is interesting.
And I'll just remind you, in case the player forgot, that we had established that Crash has a relative, right? Or
No,
am I?
I
No,
thought
never
it was
mind. I'm
Jenny.
sorry. This is yes. This is Pyretta's. Excuse me. It's Pyretta's relative,
Brother.
Byron, brother Byron. Test pilot, has recently been recruited to the Blue Raker project. So I think, that's where you're at with this development right now, is that there, like, some of the principal people and factions that are involved on working on this top secret project. That the payload looks like it could be made to be any number of different possible things, which the fact that it doesn't specify makes it almost feel like a big, like, to be determined blank, right? Like, in fact, I think maybe there's a little bit of a suspicion that, Francesca suggests as just a possible speculation, that part of the way they may have gotten funding is by promising different people to put different things there. So there's might be a little bit of the producers going on here, where they have, they got one faction to provide money with the promise that it would be one thing, and a different faction to provide money with the promise that it would be something else. But yeah, and then there's also this real strangeness of like, it's really not clear what the hulls are supposed to do, and so why with a rocket where every gram of weight is critical, why would they put so many hulls
Yeah,
and the
because
facilities to charge them on this rocket when there's already a human crew?
yeah, that is really weird.
Yeah. So that's where that all stands right now. But so what that also just means is that that the Lusk Reform Clinic is also involved in this project. And that's
Lusk
kind of its own faction. Yeah. So the Lusk Reform Clinic is where's I thought that they were the faction of their own, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, so that is the organization that has been contracted with the city to produce, to produce these hulls in that way and to help the city. And so it is definitely something being presented as a big, benefit to the city that solves two problems. It's win-win. What do you do with all of these hardened criminals? Well, now we can put them to work as helpful robots that will do hard work for the city. Yeah.
That's absolutely wonderful for the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a small but well-funded facility, gleaming white and sterile, home of the experimental Lusk reform technique. Subjects emerge as the quiet and pliable reformed, with their resonance echo stripped away to power a new hull. So technically, what's happening here is that you actually get like 2 for 1, because you have the human body that's had its echo stripped away, and so now it's sort of pliable and docile and used for labor. And so some of the hollows that Section 6 employs are these, the reformed. But now there's also the presentation here is that the robot is not like that's the person now inside the robot. The idea is what you pulled away from the human to make them the reformed can also be used to power the robot. But, that's the public version of that story. Now, how that actually works, I think, a couple of you are expert enough to know that the public explanation doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. So we could discuss what your own theories might be, but I think you would know that, oh yeah, no, they are absolutely lying about how it works. It can't be what they say it is.
Well,
but yeah, so I think just as another minor detail that you might ping you, Vesper, is that as we look at the city map here, and if in your book, if you want to look at the Dunslow neighborhood on page 404, the Lusk Reform Clinic is actually directly adjacent to the Dunslow incident site, which is the crater where the Dunslow meteorite came down, which was protected by a top secret facility. And you know that your backing faction has apparently recently acquired the meteorite rumored to have been stored there. Is there a connection? Well, I mean, they're right next to each other, at least. So, all right. So, making progress. I think Vesper and Pyretta have at least one more. Wait, no. So, because Pyretta, you used yours already. You haven't done your Indulge Vice yet. So you did your Recover. So you have one left. You have to do Indulge Vice. Vesper, you have one left, which could be used to recover or not. I don't remember if you actually have any injuries or not.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, that's right. Oh, we did that. Yeah, no.
No, that was the Indulge Vice for the
right. You haven't
stress,
treated
but I haven't
it
healed
yet.
yet. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
We made it worse. We didn't make it better yet.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny, did you want to jump in with the
I really feel like you need to heal yourself because you are electrocuted.
No, I need Crash to heal me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's your downtime action.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So after the next day after the jam tasting, um, probably at this point dressed in very minimal clothing because he's realizing that all clothing is just not working. Vesper will come to Crash, um, and you can see that all the hair on his body is standing up too. There's not a lot of hair on his body, but like all the little fine hairs on his arms are just standing up straight, and he keeps kind of twitching a little bit. Okay, Crash, I need you to drain some of this energy or I'm going to go nuts. Some burns, some itches. I need to do something about this. Or rather, I need you to do something about this.
Well, you know, the Helomatic 2500 is here for you, and so am I.
I mean, I'm more interested in you than the Helomatic, but whatever works, buddy.
Well, we work together to make
Sounds
you
good.
better, to make you whole. And, you know,
If I'm not expressing
perhaps,
it clearly enough, there's an urgency here.
all right. Well, yeah, you're grounded, man.
I'm not going anywhere for a little while, yeah.
All right. So I get one bonus die.
Well, so
Or-
in this case, I think that because it's actually Vesper's downtime activity,
yeah.
the fact that you are helping gives him one. So I guess, yeah. So what that, in theory, that means that it yeah. You know what? It's fine. I'm not worried about it.
How about
Oh.
okay,
Okay.
that also works.
Yeah. So 6, I believe, still it gives you 3 ticks.
3
which is-
segments, yeah.
Yeah. So which means you're still not, cleared it yet, but it's kind of like on the mend. It's not reduced in severity yet.
So like the cream twice a day and then a water bath where I stay in for a little longer than normal. Is that everything?
Yep, that should do it.
Okay.
And remember to blot the cream on. Don't rub it. That's just going to build up more static. You need to blot.
I
Just-
feel like, because I've also been just jotting down the NPC names, I feel like Afton and Ada have been kind of watching around the corner because they're obsessed with him
Yeah.
and kind
Well,
of like,
and also they did this to you.
Yep.
yeah. So maybe they might volunteer, whether I accept it or not, to help with the dabbing, especially in the hard to reach places. The
By the
little
way,
lightning streaks across the back.
I just noticed, by the way, that the old school rules for Blades in the Dark, as opposed to Blades 68, has an extra sentence for this move where it says, "When you suffer new harm, you clear any ticks on your healing clock."
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Whew.
So you would still, if you had any level 1 harm, you would still clear that with this result.
Yeah.
You just don't reduce the higher one yet.
I only go for the top, baby. I only go for the top. I am going to suggest one thing though, and I'm kind of I was thinking Slade, but actually, Afton and Ada might also be able to do this. Since they have one downtime action, and one of the ones they have is reducing heat.
So technically, Slade does have a downtime action because he is a cohort.
Oh, they're a resource, yeah.
They're a crew upgrade, basically.
Gotcha. Okay, so Slade would be the one.
Slade gets a downtime action, but the Aftons don't, because they're what they do is gathering intelligence that will help you for your other thing.
Right. Oh yeah, that's right. They're both bonus to gather information. So for the other two, I like to say it sends Slade out to put a few rumors to get us out of the hot water for the moment.
Okay, so you want to have him do reduce heat?
Well, only if Jenny and Paul or Crash and Red agree. 'Cause I can't do it this time. I'm a little bit.
How is our heat?
We're at 4.
I mean, he gets to do something. So if it's
Yeah.
not that, then it's you can have him do something else.
Well, I can't think of. I don't have any use for him at the moment that I can think of. So I'm okay
mean,
with reduce heat.
I yeah.
I don't know what
Honestly,
skills
I mean,
he
he can also assist, right? Like if one of you like you can have like if you've kind of done other downtime activities, but like one of the things that he can do is assist you with with one of your downtime activities. But the other things that he can do, like what he's good at, is he's an infiltrator. He's an expert in infiltrations. So like where he's going to be useful. You can have him like do whatever you want for this downtime activity, but you can also sort of be making use of him for like your gather information roles and that sort of thing that you might want to be doing moving forward.
Right.
But
Jenny,
since you
you
kind
were
of
gonna-
did, yeah, go ahead.
Jenny,
What?
did you have something you wanted to add in
You
there?
could have him help
No,
with your
I-
indulge vice that you haven't done yet.
I mean, that's also possible.
I was actually going to take Goodridge with me
Okay. I
to
mean, that works too.
the park, but I mean, if he wants to like secretly follow behind us to make sure that nobody's
I
following
mean,
me.
so if you can bring both, and you would get 2d bonus dice because one is for bringing someone along, but then you also because you're using his downtime, you get bonus dice equal to his quality, which I believe is 1 because he's your crew tier +1.
Do they level up?
Yeah.
From like quality 1?
Yeah,
Okay,
because it's
cool.
based on your crew tier.
Oh, okay.
And we're tier 0?
Currently, yeah.
Okay.
Eventually you will, level up. Crew tier is based on your crew advances. So yeah, your rep, I believe, is what increases your tier. As we established, there's kind of you get crew upgrades with crew experience, and you upgrade and you raise your crew tier with rep.
I'm thinking like we are. I think if
Yeah,
we really should reduce our heat, then maybe that would be the better thing to have him do.
Oh, so to be clear, I was a little bit mistaken. So a gang has so technically he is a gang. They're just a tier 0 gang, which means that a gang has scale and quality equal to your current crew tier, and it increases in scale and quality when you move up 1 tier. Some crew upgrades will add the elite feature to a gang, which gives them +1d when they roll for a given type, which means that Slade has quality of 1 when he's doing infiltration.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So he'd be quality 0 in terms of reducing heat.
Well,
Unless we can think of an infiltrator way to do that.
but I mean, it would still like reduce heat is just you're still gonna get like some result.
Yeah.
I think even I think even if you like a low roll is just you don't reduce the heat by much. I don't think you can make it worse.
Right.
Wouldn't that be something?
So, I think that what that means then in this context is if you were already bringing Goodrich, you don't really get any additional benefit from having him help.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so
That's
the worst
fine.
you can do is to only lose 1 heat for a reduced heat roll if you want him to do that. So it would be a 0d6 roll, unless actually if you want to justify that the way he's reducing heat is through infiltration.
Like he's going into these places that have brought heat down on us and kind of,
I mean, potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like he could break
Remove
into
some
the blue
evidence.
coats and
Hmm.
like forge a memo that says,
Hmm.
these guys were definitely not responsible.
Yeah.
Why is
Well, so
anyone
let's.
bothering them?
I think if you want the quality of one, then you have to really justify that the infiltration is key to it. Like
Mm.
forging something is like a different skill.
I mean, just
Ah.
destroying evidence would be probably the easiest part. If there's
Hmm.
like a log
yeah.
of one of the people that have been chasing
Yeah.
after us or something like that.
Incidentally, I recently watched the BBC productions of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy and Smiley's People, which are technically 70s productions, but I believe they're based on books that were written in the 60s. So it's, all that, old-fashioned espionage stuff that literally does include, hey, there's just a logbook that's supposed to say who came in and out of these secure rooms every day, and there's a whole bunch of pages that have been cut out with a razor blade. And,
Yep.
yeah.
That sounds about right.
So are you having him do that then? Well, so
Yeah.
where would he be infiltrating in this case?
I'm trying to remember who we generated the heat from.
I mean, in this case, like the blue coats are usually like one of the primary ones, but also, you did get some, you did steal your your informants from the Limmerfield gang.
And there's also section 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, there's a laundry list.
Yeah.
Probably would be good to. I don't want to do that. I was thinking that gang we just stole the people from, but I
Mm-hmm.
can't think of evidence they would have.
Well,
Oh,
so
maybe there's like
I mean, it could just be chaff. It's just trying to confuse the issue, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
giving like mixed signals about whatever happened.
Yeah, how about it be something like that where it's like trying to suggest it was a nearby gang that actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Okay.
maybe that they did it themselves because they were unhappy there and they really wanted to stick it to him. So they left in that awful
we can
manner.
make them the targets of
Yeah.
the next attack instead of us. Wait,
Well, I
that
mean,
doesn't
it would
help
still
me.
be us because we're protecting them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's just more personal
have
with
him.
the two of them.
He sneaks in and plants the calling card of some other gang in the the informant's nest that you ransacked. So even
Yeah.
though
Yeah.
like some of the people that you fought may have recognized you, there's just some confusion about it.
Yeah,
Could
I
have
think that
swore I
works.
So
stabbed her
so that
before.
works. So we can roll Slade with a 1d6 roll.
Wonder if this works.
Yeah, his little feature is on the crew sheet. Yeah, look at that.
Zero
So
dice.
that did a 0
4.
die roll because but it's going to be a 4 anyway, right?
Oh,
they
right,
were-
because
they
I
were
did
both
the
same.
infiltrate.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So you could have had a +1 bonus on that, but let's just call it a 4 in any case, and that lets you reduce heat by 2.
Here we go.
All right.
Heat reduced.
So here's a question now for you, Pyretta. You're excited to bring Goodrich to, to meet your friends there in the park. Tell me what you think. What sort of a reaction to this is Pyretta expecting?
I think that the entire time she talks about her friends all the time, like they're people, like these animatronic spirits or whatever they are. Like
so
she
it's
talks
just kind
about
of
them
like,
like they're people.
Yeah, I'm just
that
gonna
she knows.
take you to meet my friend Zofran.
Yeah. So she's
Okay.
not like I don't think she's she's a little bit wackadoodle, so she probably would not even think anything of it. So his reaction, I think he's going to be shocked that this is what's going on. That these are the people that she's always talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think that maybe we do your role and we can kind of have that, like we did with the other ones, we can have that kind of stand in for like how he takes this.
Yeah. All right. So that is indulge my vice.
Yeah.
And then you said I get a one,
yeah,
an extra.
Yeah, so your lowest is still going to be 1. It would be 1d6 to start, and then you get 1 bonus die because you brought another character along.
Okay.
Okay, look,
3.
so 3. Yeah, your indulge vice with a 3 means that you are removing 3 stress. Which is,
nice.
Like that's pretty good. That's like middle of the road. I think that for a while, Goodrich is kind of going along with this. Like he thinks you're up to something. Like you're maybe playing a trick on him, but he's kind of up for it. Like, okay, well, let's see where this is going.
Yeah.
And I think he. Have we established what his field of study is? Right, like he's another researcher.
Yeah, let me check and see if I wrote anything down. I don't think I did. He's an archivist.
He's an archivist. Well, but I think as an archivist, it makes sense to me that like this idea of like history, but like these old sort of derelict, discarded attractions. I think he's kind of into that. And I think that probably what actually happens is that he thinks that this is actually not about going to meet anyone at all, but is more just kind of like, hey, let me bring you to this cool, exciting, private place.
Secret place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that when
that.
you show up with this at this Zofran machine, so this is another question we've had to, decide, certainly when you were there before, we just went ahead and you had this conversation, but as we've done with Lloyd. So I guess here's the question is like, does Zofran talk to you when Goodrich is there?
I think he would. I mean, like we did it with you actually played the part of Zofran before, so I think he would.
This is I'm giving you some latitude here in terms of like deciding how this works, right? Like, so I'm certainly open to that. Yeah.
Because we actually, our last conversation, I told him I would like to bring some of my friends to meet him.
Sure. Yeah.
So I think that, because I actually brought somebody, that he would respond.
Okay. Yeah. Great. So I think then that he, he says, Pirata, it's so good to see you. And who is this that you have brought me?
This is Goodrich. Goodrich, this is my friend, Zofran, the one I was talking about.
He's kind of like looking back and forth at it and kind of, I think you can tell from his body language that he thinks this must be a trick, but he can't figure it. This is not what he thought was happening. And now he's confused, like, okay, so where is this going? Wait, so we are having a conversation? Is there someone else in there? What's happening? So he's kind of saying, oh, hello, Zofran. I've heard so much about you, but you are getting that, like, his mindset is like, all right, this is weird. Something's up with this. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
So
I can almost imagine him like walking around.
Is he actually able to hear Zofran?
This is what I was just asking, and I think the answer is yes. Because Zofran, as we've established, like there's genuine like resonance echo here. This is not an imaginary thing.
Right.
And so that's why I was asking Jenny if this is an entity that would speak to her when someone else is there.
Right.
And
Okay.
the answer
Yeah.
is apparently yes.
Yeah.
So I think his first reaction though is to assume that this is like a practical joke of some kind,
A joke.
which
Yeah.
he's a little bit uncertain because suddenly the joke that he thought this was is different than so he thought it was something else, and now it's this instead, and he's like, so is there another person here, and that means that we're not in a private place or what? So but yeah, but he's playing along for now.
Yeah. Like I can
Uh,
almost imagine him like walking around the machine, like looking
Yeah.
to see if there's anybody behind it or
Um,
like somehow inside.
and I think he probably does just say so. So friend, I'm curious. Uh, didn't as a carnival machine, are you not? Don't you need to be plugged in to operate? And Zofran just says, well, once upon a time, this machine did require some degree of electricity, but nowadays, don't you know that the electroplasmic power that supplies so many of your modern machines is actually derived from the power of resonance echoes and resonance entities like myself? So, to put it shortly, there ain't no strings on me. I am self-powered.
Isn't that cool? Isn't he amazing?
Yeah. So Zofran, you're a resonance entity? Yes, is that not what Pyretta told you?
I mean, I just told him that you're my friend. I mean, he's kind of my boyfriend. I think he knows what I'm into in life. So the fact that he seems shocked is a little weird. I mean,
Yeah, and I think Goodrich now is kind of starting to like, uh, okay, this is actually, all right, were you alive before? Are you alive now? Well, I suppose that depends on your definition, doesn't it? What would you say, Pyretta? Am I alive?
I think you are. I think you're alive. You have awareness and spirit, and
I
you're
am animate,
connected.
and this
Yes.
genie mannequin that's only from the waist up kind of raises a hand and goes.
Yeah. I think you're definitely alive.
I think that you may find, my new friend Goodrich, that life as a concept can be so much more than the limited biological process that you are familiar with. There are
Yeah.
mysteries to be gleaned from the wider universe once you open yourself to them.
It's true. And he like grants little wishes on little cards. It's so cute. It's one of my favorite things to do when I come here.
Um, I think Zofran says, indeed I do. Goodrich, would you like to know your fortune? I think Goodrich is looking at you like,
Go for it.
I think we're going to do just a blind fortune roll here, just a 1d6.
Okay, let me see.
This is to reflect what kind of fortune he gets.
Now it says number of dice. Do I just hit
Just
submit
one.
without?
Yeah, one.
Oh,
one
I can click
die.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
A 2.
Yeah. I think that I think that the little card that spits out for Goodrich says, "Storm clouds gather. Fire in the sky speaks of future disaster. Be prepared."
Ooh, that one's ominous.
That's
think
a
he-
little creepy.
He's standing there looking at the card, and I think he just looks as like, "Can we go now?"
Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of other friends here in the park, but if you want to go, I guess.
Yeah. I think let's. I think I've met. It was a very pleasure to meet you, Zofran. All right, gotta go. He's checking like his non-wrist wearing watch, and or non-watch wearing wrist.
Non-watch wearing wrist.
Yes, and
Yes.
I gotta go. Lovely to meet you. Later. Yeah. He does keep the card though.
I imagine he like reads it every few minutes for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, very exciting. Did you go ahead and remove the stress?
Yeah.
Okay. So, your downtime activities, or you've used those, but you are in what we essentially would say free play now, right? So you can do just about whatever you want. You could do gather information rolls. You could do any other activity. We can adjudicate rolls as per normal, and the only real resource here is that time is passing. And so basically now the normal sort of gameplay mode would be for you all to do what you feel like you want to do in order to help you decide what your next job should be. So essentially you can do whatever you like up until the point where you decide that you are ready to have the next planning meeting, at which point we will do that and pick your next job.
I have a
Okay.
question.
Yep.
About Lord Skurlock.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is like my friend
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, like, do we know that he's got something cooking, or is this just like
Yeah.
like
So
a random thing happening in the background?
I believe you are like you have a contact with him, which means this is different than like you're not good friends with him, but
Right.
So he is a wealthy man known to be a recluse who has a variety of extremely eclectic and sometimes odd interests. And what he is actually involved with, he plays very close to the chest. And so tell me how do you know him? I would imagine that, because it's a contact on your sheet, it's probably he is interested in sort of paranormal type things.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, we were at a weird seance together, and we started talking about paranormal activity, not the movies.
Yeah.
And like just hit it off.
Let's see. I would like you to make for me right now a controlled limited study roll that is meant to just reflect a retroactive role of like what you might have learned about him when you previously met him.
So, you said controlled.
Yeah, controlled limited.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a 6 though. So that means that you are you're getting your limited result. In fact, actually, where is this? I'm always looking for. Yeah, there we go. So when you're controlled and you get a 6, you do it. You do the thing. You do the study. So, I think that what you glean just being in his presence, speaking with him on these sort of seance activities, getting his vibe and his read and so on, is that this guy's obsessed with like paranormal secrets, right? he looks to be, he's one of those people where it's kind of like, is this guy 35 or is he 65? And it's kind of like he's just one of those people where you kind of keep reevaluating how old you think he is every few minutes. He dresses extremely well, but like in a lot of dark colors. He has shades drawn over all the windows in his big old mansion. Although it's possible, as far as you know, that he only did that because you were having a seance there. Like, is it always like that, or But it's certainly like that when you were there. He seems like he likes to. He's not only sort of mysterious by nature, but he seems to enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also kind of cold. He doesn't like smile or laugh much. He seems to be serious about what's going on there. Old-fashioned in his dress. But what I'll say is, because of your own personal expertise and your result here, you think it's possible by the end of the evening. You were kind of saying, it's like, well, is he 35? Is he 65? By the end of the evening, you're starting to think he might be a lot older than that.
Like he might be a vampire.
Like something. Yeah. So you think that this guy, his old-fashioned ways, his sort of ageless appearance and demeanor, fascination with paranormal stuff, you suspect this is not just some weird old guy.
Yeah.
Who's rich and has hobbies, right? There's something more going on there. And you have a sense, like I said, he might be much older. But I think all of that, like I said, is like, this is not, you've not uncovered his deepest, darkest secret. You have glimpsed at something that your own level of insight has given you that most people wouldn't pick up on.
Okay, and in all honesty, like I can't think of any reason why I would need to go and talk to him or anything like that. So,
yeah. Well, I think that he is impressed enough with your conversation and your behavior and so on at this group seance thing that I think he reaches out to you. That he is interested in knowing about these, like some of these things, and he has this impressive collection of like occult and paranormal curios, books and ephemera. I think he lets you know that if you ever come across like artifacts of that type, that he would almost always be interested in at least taking a look to maybe buy such things. And that he is very much interested in the latest research on these subjects. And so he basically, I think it's not like you're good friends, but there's sort of an open semi-professional invitation to share more conversation, information, or possible business relationships in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, so that I think is what you would have already known about him. And so
yeah, but I wouldn't suspect he's up to something suspicious.
Yeah, I think that it's, I would allow sort of in the meta that you might sort of feel like something weird's going on in the city. I have this contact who knows all sorts of weird stuff. Maybe he knows something.
That's a good angle, yeah.
So I think, I'll certainly allow that you might, might have just at least that level of curiosity to just kind of say, what has he heard about what's going on? What does he think about it? What's he doing? What's he up to?
And then I would bring that up to the rest of the gang and let them know, like, I know this guy that he's real in tune with the same kind of stuff that I'm into, and maybe he has some insight Do you think it would be a good idea if I reach out to him?
I mean, if he knows stuff, he's definitely in a better position to have the fancier circles to talk in. You think he'll tell you something?
I don't know. We had like a really good rapport, you know, like we're both into the same kind of stuff, and he was really interested in my studies and the things that I've achieved in my research.
Do you want to date him?
No, God, no. I don't even know how old this guy is. Like one minute he looks like he's like 35. The next minute I'm like, is he 100? It's crazy.
It's makeup.
Maybe, maybe, or lighting. It was pretty dark there. So think of it, yeah. But I mean, he might have some insight, and you know, I'm already in a relationship, so you know, no, definitely not a dating thing.
I mean, even if he doesn't know anything about any of the stuff we're looking into, what he's looking into is probably interesting. Might lead to a job. Maybe he needs a little bit of five-finger discount or a little scratching around to find information that he wouldn't be willing to do himself.
He really, really likes paranormal artifacts.
Oh, yeah?
So, I mean, if we had an inn like that, he would probably be super happy to see us.
I mean, I can check with the Strele. They have a lot of interesting investigations into that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
So, just as a reminder, like this is, you know, you can do these sorts of things in whatever order or whatever you want. You know, like I said, is when you do an action, time passes, but otherwise you are able to do whatever you want. So if, for example, you wanted to say, let's have Vesper try to find out information from the Strela about Lord Skurlock or something else in order to use that to help with some other role, all of that's on the table.
Also, I think that you would notice that whenever you bring up the Strele, that I'm like super like, yeah, I know, like that about it, because my rival is from the Strele. So.
Oh yeah.
Ah, yes, Padine.
Yeah.
They have a bad reputation, that's all. Mostly earned.
Yeah. But it's fine. I mean, sometimes they have access to decent information. I won't begrudge them that.
I was interested in maybe pursuing the whole thing with the meteor that your friends found, not found, got a hold of, and like this new therapy that creates the hulls, and you know how they're in such close proximity to each other that we learned from the Blue Raker 5 papers.
Yeah, would be good to know more about that.
Yeah.
Kind of wondering if we'll ever get a chance to cash out on that, though, given how tight it's connected to everything.
Mm-hmm. So just to be clear, the Blue Raker 5 papers didn't say anything about the meteorite. It's just something you would have noticed that in the discussions about the Lusker Farm Clinic, you realize you just seeing it on the map is like, oh, look, those two things are actually just right next to each other. There's no other connection that you know of.
At the very least, I can probably get access to the research site the Strela are using, which just happens to be next door to another place we might knock on.
Incidentally, the on our map here, the Dunslow neighborhood is kind of at the bottom. Let me, as I'm describing it, I can put it so that the
you can see the crater too.
Yeah, so the crater is right here, and so that is a crater that was sort of like it impacted and then was subsequently excavated, and then they built a highly secure facility down there. And so you know that the Strela had been trying to get their hands on something that was down there, this meteorite. And then also, but then this building right here is the Lusker Farm Clinic. So I think, like I said, the papers don't actually suggest any connection other than the fact that you just notice
That they're right
because
next
you
to
were
each other.
you were learning about both of those things. It's like, oh, those two things are just right next to each other. So it's curious, is all.
A little context. The meteor fell recently or a long time ago?
No, it was a while ago.
Okay. And do we have any idea how long the Lusk clinic has been around?
That's relatively recent.
Okay.
Like in the last couple of years, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. There's actually an official timeline that I can tell you exactly. But yeah, it's. I believe that that's only in. Let's see.
And you said, Crash, that there's exactly the same number of people as husks on this ship.
Yeah, and like on a rocket ship like that, you count every single gram.
I mean,
Ten-
where's it
and-
even gonna go? But
Well, yeah, where is it going? You know, like it's got this modular payload setup, so like what are they gonna put in it? And why do they need so many holes and why exactly the same number of as humans?
I mean,
Like that's weird.
I don't know how hulls work exactly, but one thought that comes to mind is maybe they aren't expecting everybody to survive the trip, so they got a little backup if they need to. You know, maybe the body gets damaged too much, but they can save the Echo somehow. I imagine that's pretty complicated, but you know, just a
I would
thought.
think that that would be like seriously complicated, and there would have to be a whole bunch of extra equipment that they would have to take with them
I mean, you
to
did say
do
something
that.
about modular equipment too, but
Well, a modular payload, but I mean, like if you want to deliver bombs, you have to assign that weight, and
I
if you
mean,
want to, you know, like
but
carry research equipment,
you don't put people on bomb rockets, though, do you?
I don't know what I mean. Like if you're gonna bomb a city and then land and then, you know, like send some people in to like sabotage their shield or, you know, do stuff like that.
Do
I
they
don't
just
know.
jump out of the rocket? Is that how that works?
No, it lands.
Oh, okay. I didn't know the rockets could land.
I think so. Can the rocket land?
It does not look like it is designed to land safely. Or rather, I should say, it's not like these new reusable rockets that we're talking about where it lands back and can be used again. It does look like it's more like the space shuttle in the sense that like it's going to launch and do something that seems kind of really unclear, especially since your whole city's in a magic bubble that protects it from the Deathlands. You kind of don't know what the rocket will do if it goes through the bubble.
Yeah. And where do they want to send it?
Yeah.
I mean,
now,
maybe
but
there's
like
another
in
bubble
theory,
somewhere else.
as a vehicle, it is theoretically capable of landing if there was a safe place for that to happen.
Okay.
There's not a lot of you've not found a lot of stuff in these documents that suggests what the plan is for that.
Now, are rockets a thing that exists? Like, is there a space program, or is it?
No.
This is the only one we've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Aside from ballistic rocket.
People have talked about
firing.
it like as a theoretical thing.
Yeah, yeah, but these people are more than theoretical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Are they
it
trying
feels.
to break through the bubble?
Well, I mean, they could just go through it. I think it's more that it's keeping stuff out than keeping stuff in. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's a ton of power. What happens if they damage the bubble when this thing takes off? What happens to the rest of us and all of our, you know, friends and family?
Where do you even launch something like this? Maybe. Well, hang on now. I'm thinking in reverse here, which is normal, but.
Mm-hmm.
Something came through the bubble and smashed down, right? We know that there was a meteorite that crashed down at some point. Long time in the past, may not have been the bubble that we know it now, but something came through without the bubble being destroyed. So
Right.
maybe it's the same sort of thing that something can go out without the bubble being destroyed. Just
But
disrupt it a
why?
little bit.
Like, do we need the bubble? I mean, maybe there are people who believe it's not necessary and they would like to get rid of it.
I mean,
because it's holding stuff in.
but we're talking the same group of people who build and maintain the bubble, right? These are the government folks. Those are the ones that actually run the bubble. If they didn't think they believed in it, they could save a lot of money by just turning the damn thing off. But I don't think they want to do
Maybe
that.
they don't know how.
Oh well, maybe.
So
It'd also be pretty
I'm going to
dangerous.
confirm that the meteorite is believed to have been there. Who even knows how long?
Okay.
But there were pit mines in that area that were all,
Okay.
and so it was discovered at the bottom of a quarry, as
So
opposed to something created a new crater. That's the history of that.
I'm just going to
meteorite.
imagine Slade is the one telling us that part. He's got a weird
Yeah.
side history.
Well, see, the other thing is that it's also really close to Iron Hook Prison. So.
Well, they're turning prisoners into robots.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's all very, very bizarre and
I mean, it's a pipeline, right?
suspicious.
They've definitely got hulls working in those mines.
Yeah. But it sounds like it's a one-way trip wherever they're going to go. If they blow the dome on the way out, then they're just landing somewhere else.
I don't think they're taking a trip.
What do you think they're doing then?
I don't know. They're blowing something up. I mean,
again, you don't build for people being on the rocket if it's just going to explode.
Maybe they're people they want to get rid of.
Or maybe you need to like pilot it. Maybe.
I mean, how many people did you say this thing had room for?
It's a human. It's meant to have like a human crew of 5, and then there's also like facility for 5 hulls.
I mean, it's got to be cheaper ways to kill something instead of having 5 people pilot a rocket.
I don't know.
Is there a moon or any other things like that in orbit? Like, I don't know the celestial.
The celestial is that the sun literally shattered, and I don't say exploded. I say it shattered because there were pieces of it. But like this was like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So that's like a long time since. I don't know that there's a moon. I think generally speaking, no one goes outside the city because it's dangerous out there.
I guess if there's no sun, then the moon wouldn't show up either.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good point. Mm-hmm.
Even if there was one, yeah.
Exactly.
Are there like remnants of the shattered moon? Any like
the sun? You mean?
That's
sun. Like nobody finds those anymore. It was kind of like these like artifact sort of things, like in the older setting.
I mean, maybe that's what they want to do is go and find a piece of it.
Maybe. I mean, maybe they really want to. Maybe they don't believe what happened out there. I mean, it's been so long that maybe they've become convinced that this stuff that we've all learned isn't real.
Well,
and the only way to find out is to go through it.
Or
the wildlands are still out there. Can people actually go out to the wildlands? Is that possible?
The Deathlands?
Deathlands?
Technically, yes. Legally, so people, you cannot just like walk out of the bubble anywhere you want. People, it's literally only safe to do it in specially designed like, entrances and exits that are very tightly controlled. And in order to go through them, you need legal permission to do so, which is not easy to get.
And between the nations, is this all within the same bubble?
No, this bubble is over Duskfall specifically.
Okay.
Other places have their own sorts of equivalents. And it's actually some of the different nations handle it differently. So there are some of the other places that have their own sort of like, off-brand versions of the bubble. There are where Blackthorn Park is from, the Scove continent has this like different set of like there's mystics that handle all of the the resonance echoes differently. So there's like the world has other places have different solutions for what's known as the Deathlands, where
And
ghosts and demons and such roam, or
and
resonance echoes and resonance entities. Like we know what they are now.
yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
so the bubble is a relatively modern development because historically it used to be lightning fences around Duskfall.
and how do you get between those different nations?
That was the same question
Again,
I
it's
was
like
gonna
there
ask.
are like there's travel, but only like sanctioned travel. It's not
Okay.
trivial.
So
There, there's
in that
portals,
same
right?
vein, like, do regular everyday people communicate with people in these other regions?
It's limited. Like it happens. Like that's why you have like the espionage and everything. But it's like it's not trivial to do. It's
Okay.
not
And
just you can't just pick up a phone and call someone in the Scove continent.
did you
So
come from another one of the places, Pyretta? Like you were
yeah.
actually
She comes
I
from
forget
Tycheros, which is a whole other thing.
right,
Because
right.
literally the
Yeah.
only way to get through that is not through the bubble, but this like weird special portal. And so, which kind of suggests is like, there's like a map of the various continents. Tycheros is not on that map. Where is Tycheros?
Yeah. Can't
Somewhere
see
where
it from
people
here.
have antennas or green skin and stuff.
Yeah, but see that all of that information that we just learned from magic makes me feel like busting through that bubble is their goal because they can't just go wherever they want. And maybe there are things out there that they want.
I mean, generally speaking, no one wants to go out of the bubble. As a general rule, it's bad out there. It's safe in the bubble. Now, that's obviously, like when I say it's hard to leave the bubble to get permission to travel, I'm not talking about like high-ranking government officials. Like they could do it. It's more just like the average person is going to have to justify to a bureaucrat why they need to leave. That sort of thing.
I mean, they might not even be wanting to launch it from within the bubble. Maybe they're planning to push this thing outside and launch it from there.
Take out another
Yeah.
nation.
I think, like the documents you have do suggest that this, it can be transported in a disassembled state to be, to be set up somewhere, but it would certainly require substantial infrastructure wherever they set it up. It's not, you can't just put it in a random warehouse.
I mean, maybe there's another continent they want to get to.
Maybe they want to take out Tycheros. They're going to have to shoot it through the portal.
Or, take over another city and expand our way of doing things.
So I love this speculation. What I'm going to also encourage, though, is that some of these questions don't have to just be mere speculation. You can start actually trying to find out by doing some gather information rolls.
Yeah.
Mm.
We should look for places maybe where they, like, we don't even know where they're building this. We know that they've had 4 failures, which means they've built them before and tried, and something went wrong.
So, yeah, as I had previously indicated, these various factions are the ones where I have already in the meta said, these are the factions that know something or they're involved somehow. So,
Yeah. Well, I think we should look into the Ministry of Discovery. They're definitely the center of a lot of this, even if they're not public
Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
I
Yep.
agree.
they are
wanna
certainly the
know-
ones most primarily responsible for the Blue Raker project.
You think you can talk to Lord Skurlock, and maybe we can score a job from him, which might give us more information too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's-
especially if he's looking for something specific, we might be able to find it.
yeah.
Yeah. And I wouldn't mind knowing more about why Blackthorn Park was trying to hand over these plans or get these plans from Keel. What would they do with them? I mean, this is on a scale that none of these gangs are able to handle, right? This is on like a big scale. Unless they were just
Yeah.
trying to ransom them back, which, that makes more
Yeah.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I want to know what the Strelai are doing too, but Maybe look into this Lusk thing too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where do we start?
Yeah.
What's the
So
first
this
thing
is
we
a
want to
game where
do?
to do something, you do it. So tell me what you do.
How about you hit Lord Skurlock up first? You got the best connection with him.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Great.
So I will reach out to Lord Skurlock.
All right. What do you tell him?
I tell him that my team is getting ready to go on an excavation to find some artifacts, and if there's anything in particular that he's looking for,
Okay.
like some paranormal artifacts.
Sure, sure. So I think um, the idea that you so we could just role play it if you want. So like he's certainly interested in that. He says, "So yes, come by my mansion, and we will have uh, some light refreshment in the afternoon, and you can tell me more about this planned expedition."
All right. Is it all right if I bring my companions?
They are welcome.
All right. We will be by sometime in the afternoon.
You know, I think as an improv technique, I would, you know, the proper edit there is to just go ahead and say, "Cut to this afternoon. You're there."
Yeah.
Instead of me having to phrase it like it's an invitation to now.
Yeah.
Now what? Yes.
Now
so
we're
yes,
there.
Later that afternoon, um, uh, an ancient looking servant has brought out a silver tray with little finger sandwiches on it. Um,
What are we drinking?
With real fingers?
I'm
Lord
glad
Skurlock is not
somebody
drinking
asked.
anything, and he doesn't eat any of the finger sandwiches.
I
But
knew it.
they are offered to you, and you are offered your choice of wine or water or juice.
I would like some juice.
I'm gonna indulge in wine, and I'm going to attempt to figure out what the finger sandwiches are made of by taste.
Okay.
Interrogate the tray.
Well,
Mhm.
you
Oh,
are a
yes.
very culinary expert. You are a culinary expert.
You can
so-
tell it's basically like eel salad, like tuna salad, but eel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
And while they're doing that, I will begin the discussion
Mm-hmm.
with
Yes.
we are doing some research on another project, but we are going to be looking into finding some artifacts and some information from a specific group. And I remembered that you have such a deep fascination with these types of artifacts. So I thought maybe if there was something specific that you were looking for, maybe we could put our feelers out to see if we could find it.
So,
Excuse me.
what types of artifacts are you looking for, or are you asking me what types of artifacts you should be looking for?
I'm always looking for paranormal artifacts, especially things from, the ancient past before everything became electromagnetic or whatever. Um, you know, I I'm always on the lookout for things like that, which is why we go on these expeditions.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought of you and wondered if there was anything that you might be interested in specifically that we could keep an eye out.
I recognize. So here's a question for Vesper. How do you wear any sort of insignia from the Strelai? Like, is that something that you would like keep completely under wraps, or is that something that like you would have like wear a patch from them publicly or anything like that?
Oh, interesting question. They're secretive, but
Yeah,
known.
I wouldn't
Uh,
necessarily expect you to have some public signifier of it, but even something like a little pin that is designed for like if you know, but most people wouldn't.
Probably something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Where it's probably an earring actually.
Mm-hmm.
That will
Okay.
occasionally just he won't
Okay.
make he'll wear it, but not on its own. It's like with
Mm-hmm.
other earrings, so it's a little obscured. But
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the ways to identify the field.
Yeah. I think one of the things that he says is, I am interested, of course, in a great many things, as you might imagine. Even as we sit here speaking, I find my attention drawn to your colleague's earring. Can you tell me about it, Mr. Varden?
I mean, it's was a gift to me for a gathering that I attended, a part of I guess you might say, a meeting of minds and souls, maybe.
Hmm.
Have you attended a similar gathering yourself?
I try to avoid gatherings organized by others. I prefer bringing people to me.
I can understand someone with your wealth and power. Once in a while, though, it is good to get in the field, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of our pitch here. We like getting in the field, and we've got,
Mm-hmm.
I think, some crossing over interests in the kinds of things that you look into and the kinds of things we find ourselves looking into.
I would say that I have a significant interest, fascination, you might say, obsession, you might say, with what is in modern parlance known as metadimensional entities, specifically in class 5 and above, which certainly, Pyretta, you know as like, those are the big boys. Those are the like ultra power, what would have in the past been called like ultra powerful demons, like much more powerful than a person, very potentially dangerous, very potentially powerful.
What about that thing that I summoned and unleashed when
I was
we
just thinking
were
that.
Yeah,
running?
yeah, not even close to
Okay.
something like that. So this is like class. Hang on, let me. There's an actual little table that explains the different classes, which I should say. But a class 6 is like demigod sort of level. I gotta find it
And we
now.
were terrified of the thing that she summoned.
Oh yeah, yeah. So what she summoned is like a monster. It's scary. It's different than something that's like an ancient demon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where is that? There we go. There's so much good information in this book that it's always, sometimes it's a little trick. Okay, here it is. So this is page 328 in the PDF. The paranormal entities, class 1, resonance disturbances, non-physical manifestations such as spectral lights, voices, sounds, vapors, etc. I'm going through this specifically, of course, because this is Pyretta's specialty. Class 2, resonance entities, loopers, single psychic imprint captured in the resonance field, repeating over and over, no will of its own, but sometimes still dangerous. Class 3, resonance entities, echoes. This is what would be like most commonly encountered, but also is like it's your classic ghost. This was a person, now it's an echo, right? Class 4 entities, mirrors. Some echoes stabilize into a more permanent form, and those would be class 4. Class 5 is aberrations, also known as horrors. And what Pyretta summoned accidentally was more along that line, but it was almost also something that was kind of like only sort of like temporarily able to interact.
It was like a 4.5.
Yeah. Intensely powerful, highly resistant to harm. They may only persist in this world for a short time, however. They cannot sustain life for long outside the resonance field and inevitably decay to dust or ooze in the span of a few hours or days. Class 6 metadimensional entities, traditionally called demons. The resonance field is the closest dimension to our own, but is not the only one. Class 6 metadimensional entities are inhabitants of distant and alien dimensions. Their native dimension must have some affinity with ours, and the Class 6 entity uses this conduit to manifest in our reality. Some are beings of pure exothermic reaction. Unlike human, I'm skipping stuff. They're not echoed in the resonance field. They are corporeal creatures, although extremely difficult to kill. Most appear as terrifying humanoids. They are alien cosmic entities that transcend human understanding. Their desires are vast, cruel, and incomprehensible. And they also have various other powers. But here's where both Vesper and Falwell have some investment in this subject as well. You know, as a Sparkcraft expert, Falwell, that the spark mind, or so-called artificial intelligence, uses the same scientific principles behind hulls, where they take a resonance echo and place it in a robot body, is the same principle, but applying to a Class 6 entity. It's a very risky scientific procedure. Can, in theory, capture such an entity in its most pure elemental form and then place it in, like, a Sparkcraft device. So a spark mind
so that's how we make spark minds.
Yes. Which just means that Class 6, as I was describing, theoretically can be, like, very ultra powerful, but, like, also, like, carefully managed can potentially be done. Like, it could be captured.
Right. And since I created Franny, I've dealt with one of these before.
Yes. And then Vesper, the reason that you have connection here is that the Strelai's kind of whole deal involves a lot of feeling like the sworn duty of the Strelai is to bind and contain, sometimes known as icing, Class 6 metadimensional entities.
I feel like this is something that Hyretta would be deeply offended by.
Yeah, I'm not sure that, like, anyone else knows that. I'm telling, above the table here that Vesper certainly knows that. And so that's just context for Lord Skurlock saying, my fascination, my obsession is with Class 6 metadimensional entities. And
I happen to look at the Strelai page, and the first enemy listed is Lord Skurlock.
Gosh, is it?
But that's
Don't
okay.
look at him.
I can play in the middle here.
Yeah. So I think that so he just kind of tosses that out, and now that I've sort of explained that, like the context that would represent for each of you, you can tell me how you react to him saying that's what he's interested in.
Oh, what fun.
I would not question it, because I think of him as an intellectual colleague. Like, I would not imagine that he had horrible designs.
I know one of the things you can do with such an entity is to create a spark mind. Is that the direction that you are contemplating?
I have an interest, we could say, in the modern ways in which people are seeking to manipulate the energy of the planes. But more precisely, I'm more interested in older-fashioned methods of interacting with, containing, communing with entities of this nature.
Sounds fascinating to me.
Yes.
Good research there.
I think where these kinds of things are involved, just about everybody is in their best interest to be interested, aware. Understanding is important.
Indeed.
Well, you can rest assured that if I come across anything like that, you'll be the first to know.
I am so glad to hear it, Pyretta. Now tell me, why have you really come?
That is fun.
So that I could tell you something you more or less
Well, I
already
mean,
knew.
it's been a while since I've seen you, and we had such fascinating conversations. And I feel like,
Well,
we are of the same mind with these things. And it's rare that I get to communicate with people who actually understand what I'm talking about.
so this is where I'm going to start to ask, like, what sort of a role you have in mind. Because typically for something like this, because he's one of your contacts,
Hmm.
that you're wanting to essentially just like get information from, as opposed to say an adversary that you're trying to deceive, maybe, right?
Right.
Like a consort role is the most straightforward, but you're also being a little evasive, right? Like you're not really telling him either why you're really here or what you really want from him, right? So, but I guess
Yeah.
you tell me, what is it that you're actually hoping to get out of him here, and what is your sort of primary approach? And then we can kind of figure out how to role play from there.
I really, really want to find some way to ask him if he knows anything about what's going on with like this project,
Mm-hmm.
because it's so bizarre. But at the same time, like I cannot in my brain think of an in
Sure. Okay.
to
Well,
like
so
bring that up without giving away like our whole everything that we have.
all right. Well, perhaps let me think. I'm just trying to think what would because his vibe is not to just like openly share like what he knows, like,
Yeah.
but I think you're definitely getting the sense, first of all, like he's kind of already said, is like he feels like there's something you want to know that you're not asking.
Yeah.
I think I would say it, if you feel like you need more, we can talk it through. But I think it's enough, perhaps, that you know of him is that he is just someone who, with a whole variety of, like, he's got his fingers in a lot of different pies. He knows a lot of people. He's old as hell. He's been around forever, seems like. Um, he hears things.
Yeah. I think I would backtrack
Mm-hmm.
to his question.
Because I've been going in the direction that you sort of prompted, which is you were saying you were here because you wanted to talk about artifacts, right?
Right.
So if you want to talk about something else, you should ask him something
Yeah. I think I would backtrack to when he asked me what I'm
else.
really,
Mm-hmm.
really
Sure.
after
Yeah.
here. Is to just I would say, we've been coming across a lot of very strange information and happenings, and I know that you have a lot of connections
Mm-hmm.
here. Um, and I'm just curious if you would be willing to share any information you might have about the things that have been going on that we've been working to try to prevent.
Well, there are any number of strange things going on. I know bits and pieces about many of them. Can you be more specific?
I will look at my dear friends and be like, what can we say? Like, am I allowed to talk about what we're doing that we know about a bomb?
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to flash back to when we talked about this?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
absolutely,
I'm
let's
thinking.
flash
Like we
absolutely.
back.
could
Mm-hmm.
flashback. Like, what
Well,
can we talk
Yeah.
about
So
when we're
what's our
I
there?
game
mean,
plan here?
you could be very concerned about your brother and this
Yeah.
super secret project that he's gotten himself into as a test pilot, and um, you hear all these rumors, and he can't tell you anything or he'll get in big trouble, but you want to find out more because you're worried about him. And it,
That's a good angle.
I
I
think
think
for
that's
me, I kind of want to see if he'll let something slip. I want to ask him about the Deathlands. I want to ask him about Beyond the Dome and see if he knows anything about it, and whether anybody's talked about breaching the dome or going out to the Deathlands specifically. I still think the rocket might be used for that.
Yeah.
You might have a reason why that'd be important to go.
So can we bring up that we know about the rocket?
Well, you know your brother is a test pilot in a super secret project, and um, he may have slipped and said the word rocket at some point, but
There you go.
you know,
Yeah. Keep what
Gotta
we
get
actually know
like
out of it. But
what would somebody use? Like, even if they could build something like that, why would you want to? You
right.
know,
yeah, would it
that's
bust
a
the dome, or would it? Is there places in the Deathlands worth going to,
right.
or beyond, for that
Okay.
matter?
All right. Flashback complete. So all of those things, like I bring up the thing that, like, well, my brother is a test pilot, and he's been super secretive, but he's let some weird things slip here and there. He mentioned something about a rocket, and
Hmm.
it seems so strange. Like, what would a rocket even be used?
Your brother is a test pilot for the Ministry of Discovery.
Yeah, I don't talk to him. I mean, not anymore, really. But he does talk to our mother, and
You
she
do
said some
have
interesting things.
unexpected connections, my dear.
I know it's a gift, really.
Mhm. So I think this is the point where it does sound like this is still a consort role,
Hmm.
right? Um, I think that this is friendly, but also that you're talking about like top secret, difficult information. So I think it's risky in that sense,
Yeah.
right? You don't have any sense that like he's gonna pounce on you or something like that, but
Right.
it's more like that you're trading in dangerous information here.
Right.
Um, so it's risky in that sense. And I'm going to go ahead and give you standard effect to start with.
Okay.
Um, you have, uh, I think, that's the role to begin with. So you can let me know if you feel like there's any other modifiers you'd want to throw in there.
I am going to stress myself out
Yeah.
over this,
Okay.
and I think I would like to take a devil's bargain.
Okay. Okay. The devil's bargain is he wants to know your brother's name.
Oh.
Okay.
Can we assist on this roll too, or would it be
Yeah,
better to make
yeah.
separate rolls?
I think if you want to, yeah. I mean, I think that Pyretta is the one that has communication with him.
Hmm.
She's the one that can do like consort. So if
Well,
you're wanting
I
to
was
help
thinking.
with that, like if you want to make your own different role for a different purpose, we can do that separately.
I was thinking study to kind of watch his reactions to when
Yeah,
we
you can
probe
do
him for
that
information.
separately. You'll get
Okay.
different information.
Okay.
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 So
All right.
recall that you spend a stress if you want to
I thought it was
assist.
2. Oh
So
no.
okay, for
Okay.
Pyretta,
Yeah.
for you to push yourself is 2. If they
Yeah.
want to help you by giving you 1 extra die, then that's yeah. So are you going to accept that devil's bargain?
Yeah.
All right, great.
Okay, but I mean, it sounded like Syl is going to do his own gather information, so I can help
Mm-hmm.
her, Pyretta.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you've
All
got your
right.
devil's bargain, you've got your push, you've got Falwell's help. So sounds like it's going to be a +3 on top of whatever your normal consort would be.
0.
Risky standard. Yeah.
Oh.
Consort, look at that. That is a
Nice.
6.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. So let's see. So that tells us that we can, you do it. You do the thing right here. This is you're gonna get the kind of the answers that you're looking for. So let's kind of role play this out. And he just, he was just asking about your brother. It's like, what would your brother's name be, perchance?
Do I have to tell him, even though,
Yeah,
like,
no,
I
that's
succeeded?
how the
Okay.
devil's bargain works. Is
Okay.
that it happens either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always forget.
And so, like, the way he phrases it, I think you're suddenly feeling a little bit like, I'm not sure. I'm suddenly not sure I want to tell him, and yet he's phrased it like the conversation's not going to move forward until you answer him.
His name is Byron.
Byron Blaze.
Yes.
Takaroshi also.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, just so happens that the only particular operation I'm aware of that the Ministry of Discovery would need test pilots for right now, especially with the concept of a rocket, is a rather impressive new attempt to breach the boundaries and thresholds of current scientific understanding. It's the sort of behavior of the modern individual such as yourself, Falwell. And I think that there's an element where your first reaction is like, oh, he's complimenting you. But then, like, as he continues on, you're like, wait, was he? It is modern individuals who are looking to understand the world around us through scientific means. And through this project, they hope to uncover some new understanding of the world. And I'm sure that your brother, Byron, will be a key part of that. And I do have some information that has been, collected by my various means. This is a project that has, while it is wildly ambitious in its attempt to reach for the heavens, I suspect that the conflict in its heart may well be its undoing. But the how, I would advise you, my dear, that whatever influence you may have with your brother, my personal feeling is that whatever it is that the Ministry of Discovery seeks to accomplish with their rocket, they will find that the clamor of voices seeking to add their own influence to the project will cause it to come to calamity in one way or another. Now, there may be ways that this could be done relatively harmlessly, or otherwise. But I suspect they will not achieve whatever it is they think they are doing. For there are too many with investment in seeing that they fail. I know
They want them.
that there are, in fact, multiple different organizations, each seeking to have their way be the way. And I think, let's see, I'm going to try to... yeah, I think that he's leaning into something here, and I'm trying to just decide exactly how much more information he should give you based on, because you got a standard result. where he's answering your question, but in an enigmatic way, right? I think that in this specific context, like the primary information he's shared with you right now, he does know about it. He knows that a lot of people are trying to influence it to their own ends, and he thinks that it's a doomed mission. How that happens, he's not sure, but he's pretty sure it's not going to be what's a success by whatever metric they're trying for. And so I think he kind of finishes at least that line of thought by just reiterating, if you do care about your brother, I suggest that you urge him to withdraw from the test pilot program of this rocket.
Yeah. If I'm honest, he's about as smart as a bag of rocks when it comes to that stuff.
If you like, and you feel that this message may be too difficult coming from you, I would be happy to speak with him on your behalf.
I would appreciate it.
Consider it done, my dear. And then
Thank you.
He gives you another one of those smiles where you suddenly like, is
he
that
being
good?
nice or is he evil? I would like to carefully study his teeth.
And the answer is yes.
So in the meantime, Vesper, you were wanting to study for what end? Like what are you trying to achieve with your study here?
I kind of want to suss out what he might be working on by sending out different probes of individual words and terms.
Okay.
Like talking about, what lies beyond the dome in the Deathlands. Is there anything of value out there? He will say that, what would he say? I don't know. I think he would play a little bit with the notion of the meteorite and the he'll call it recent activity, even though it's been going on for a long time. But he's kind of coding his language, and he's not necessarily looking for a lot of information. He's looking for reactions to indicate where Skurlock's interest is most, and where his own big project he's working on might be. So kind of shooting darts at a dartboard, hoping to hit a bullseye, and then using study just to kind of react to that.
Okay. So yeah, we don't necessarily need to role play out all of that. You're sort of trying to just disguise this with like not small talk, but like just talk about more generic things, just trying to like gauge where his interest seems to, like detect a pattern and like what he seems interested in or focused on, and just his micro expression reactions to things, that sort of thing.
And also kind of see if it can be tied back to the Ministry of Discovery's project. If any of them seem to be relevant to that conversation.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So I think
I only have one die, so it's not like it'll work that well.
Your attempt here is to just try to get more information than he thinks he's revealing. Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call this desperate.
Okay.
Because you, like, as sort of indicated by him sort of calling out your earring, you're pretty sure he knows what it means. And that he is probably trying to do the exact same thing to you that you are to him.
Okay.
Where as this conversation goes on, he's trying to glean what secrets it is that you're not saying.
Okay.
So I'm going to say it's desperate, but I'll give you standard effect, though.
Okay. Can I work with my backing faction? And basically the kind of initiation that he would have been involved with, I'm going to
use... what you already know about him from them?
And kind of how to code it a little bit more obscurely so he's not giving too much away.
Absolutely, yeah. So go ahead and mark down that you, like, asked for a dossier on him.
Yeah, and I'm going to use the assist on my action roll for one die.
Okay.
From them. So next time we do come to that faction
Yeah,
roll, I'm probably going to owe them, but that seems more fun.
Yes, no, absolutely.
Uh,
This is the game as intended.
will you offer a devil's bargain? I'm kind of curious what you might.
Yeah, yeah. I think that you're gonna slip on some piece of information, whether you get information or not. I think that so you kind of mentioned like the idea of the meteorite.
Mhm.
I think that if you want this devil's bargain, you're going to realize that even without saying anything specifically, he's going to realize that the Strelai now have that meteorite.
I think I like that.
Okay.
And there would be kind of, yeah, it's the devil's bargain. It's the I know I have to give a little to get a little here kind of as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
okay. Do I want to do more?
So because I mean in the meta, the way this is kind of reflected is that if he's getting information, he's more likely to be happy and maybe less concerned about revealing more.
Yep. I just get rid of stress. I always have too much stress.
Yeah. Well,
I will push myself for a 4th die.
Okay, great.
So let's see here. Study, you said it was desperate?
Yes. So desperate, standard.
Standard. With
Sounds
3
like
bonus dice.
Yeah.
Damn, only a 4.
Okay. So I think desperate with a 4. I think is there's going to be a consequence, right? Where's my little page that deals with this? I'm always flipping away from the page that I really want. I think it's 28. No. Boy. Can never find it when I want it. But so yeah, the idea basically is that okay, there it is. 23 is the page I always wanted here. So desperate, on a 4 to 5, you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer severe harm, a serious complication occurs, you have reduced effect. So I think in this case, just based on what's going on here, I'm going to say, so first of all, consequence, remember, you can always resist consequences. It's just that you may have to spend stress to do it, right? So I think there's no harm coming here because this is not that type of situation.
He electrocutes me. It's a button.
I think what I'm choosing between here is whether you accidentally reveal even more than you meant to, or whether you're just getting less, right? I think that the latter is what makes more sense to me, which is that you're going to get like limited result instead of standard result. Which is to say, you believe that.
Well, I can resist this though, right?
Oh, well, I guess so. Yeah, you can resist it if you want, but so this would be. Gosh, because it's resisting a consequence in sort of this social situation. I think it would be an insight resistance, which I believe is pretty good for you.
Yep. So I will attempt to resist this.
Yeah.
And it will be my highest.
Yeah, 6
die
minus
6.
the highest result.
Okay, let's see what we got here. No bonus dice. So I got a 4, so I do take 2 stress.
Yeah. All right.
But I will get the full story.
Well, and remember too that like even though we're in free play, if you spent another stack, you could get another downtime if you needed to.
I may have to.
More. Yeah. Well, you're kind of treating this almost like a job, which is fun. Yeah. So but you do resist it, so that means you will get the standard information. So I think, based on what you know from the Strelai, is they are very aware of him because the Strelai's big thing, as we mentioned, is trying to capture and ice and secure these class 6 entities, right? in addition to recently acquiring this meteorite, and I think you're still not entirely clear on the details of why they wanted it or how they got it. You just kind of know that that mission has succeeded. So I think you don't necessarily have that, have more information there. You do get the feeling that he was interested in that, though.
And given that it's the Strela looking into it, it's very
Yeah.
likely to be
Well,
involving
but then the
exactly
other
same
thing
story.
is, though, the other major victory recently from the Strelai is that they captured a very powerful entity known as Cetera, who is currently on ice, meaning like kind of imprisoned in a crystal. And the plan is to transport that crystal out of the city where it can be like disposed of in a way that it, Cetera will be, killed essentially. Or at least like sealed away forever. That's the plan. But right now, still in the city. And what they know is that there are unconfirmed rumors that Lord Skurlock has more than a casual interest connection to Cetera specifically. And has been sending out lots of feelers trying to figure out when and where that crystal prison is getting moved. So it is not just I'm interested in Class 6 metadimensional entities. It is when and where is the crystal that is containing Cetera going to be and when, right? So it's like that is something that he really wants to know. And I think from your dossier on that, I think, knowing what you know about that and seeing that seems to be something that he has sort of a primary interest in. But that doesn't necessarily connect to the Ministry of Discovery, right? So what you are sort of reading between the lines in is that he's talking about how many different people might want to try to hijack or corrupt the Blue Raker project towards their own ends. Maybe many people includes Lord Skurlock. But you also think that this is just not the sort of guy that does things. He doesn't get his hands dirty. So if he's involved, he would be doing it through some other faction. But you suspect that is in fact happening. You don't know who or where, but now I think what you suspect is, A, he has a primary objective that is antithetical to your backing faction's objectives. And it may well be that he is behind the scenes in some plan to connect the Blue Raker rocket to that objective. So, and I think you get the sense that he almost doesn't even mind you getting enough information to make that connection, because there's a little bit of a playful, now let's see what you can do with that attitude. And the fact that he also got a piece from, is like, oh, they've got the meteorite. Isn't that interesting? So, yeah, I think all of that understanding unfolds over the course of maybe 15, 20 minutes of conversation that would otherwise seem to be about other things.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah. All right. So we are generally at about time. Is there anything else we would want to do related to Lord Skurlock here specifically?
I mean, there's so many things I want to do.
I mean, we're still going to be
no.
in free play. So lots of other things that can be done before we would be, doing a planning meeting. But I guess just in terms of this scene.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still like trying to figure out how good his wine is and
Yeah.
If
I
Who's your
think
these
it,
supplier?
weird
so.
eel finger sandwiches are good.
Yeah. Um, I think because you are an aficionado, an oenophile, as they say, um, this wine, based on this guy, the kind of place he lives in, his whole sort of vibe,
hmm
this wine is very good, but you have an inkling that this is the wine for casual guests that is meant to be impressive, but is not the good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like it is the sort it's the vibe is precisely, and this is the wine I give to casual guests, and it's this good. So you just have to wonder what I would give my good friends.
Yep.
So is it? Oh, I didn't drink wine. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was
You
going to
do.
say, was the last time better? But I didn't drink any of your juice.
Okay, great. So, if we're ready to finish that scene, we can go ahead and do our end of session moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to spend a stack
Okay.
on trying to
Do
once
another
again
indulge
gamble away my
vibes?
problems. Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe
Uh,
make a note of that, and
okay, will
we
do.
can do that next time. Just because we're kind of at our usual
Yep.
finish time. But remember, everyone, take a look at your end of session moves. So like every time you rolled a desperate or 0 dot action, you mark XP, in either in your attribute or playbook tracks. We didn't really focus on keys, but remember you can still always do that too. Like if you sort of feel like I specifically did one of those things, I want to mark one of those keys. You can mark an XP if you do that. We didn't say it when it happened, but as a reminder of the mechanic, so you could do it now if you wanted.
Yeah.
And then each of you, of course, has your own specific triggers, like Vesper. If you addressed a challenge with stealth or deception. And I think that last little bit of study qualifies there.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I'm
absolutely.
gonna.
Yeah, and so did everyone kind of get what whatever XP marked there? Do you feel like you
Yep.
you know what you're doing with that still?
Yeah.
Great.
hmm
Okay, so and then I think there's crew XP as well. At the end of each session, for each item below, mark 1 XP, or you can do 2 if you feel like it happened multiple times. We didn't do a successful, surveillance, heist, subterfuge, or cleanup. Contend with challenges above your current station. I would say yes. Lord Skurlock is above your current station.
He's my bestie. Just
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. Your reputation is eccentric. I think going to talk to an old man, maybe vampire, about a rocket seems eccentric to me.
Definitely.
Well, you put it that way, yeah.
Oh, I'm just describing what you did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you can get an XP for that as well. And then express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. And I feel like, yeah, you did that. You're talking through like what's the A plot here? What's going on? What's this mystery? And I want to encourage you to mark XP for things so that we can engage with those mechanics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the eccentric, was that just for the crew or for?
That was the crew.
That's for the crew.
For the crew.
Did
Now,
you do
you might
anything
have your
personally
own
eccentric?
key for eccentric. That is for
I do.
for your. Yeah. So if you want to say, did I do something eccentric?
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
I think taking my boyfriend to the old
Yeah.
Yeah. that was
So
pretty
take a look
Machine
at your own
cemetery.
keys, and so you can get 1 XP for marking one of those if you wanted to do it. So that's a thing to try to remember to do when in the moment instead of
When
after
it
the fact if you
happens.
can. But like
Yep.
if you remember it afterwards, I think that's still fair.
Mm-hmm.
But I think so. Yeah, with another 3 XP for crew XP, yeah, you're almost there at another advancement.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did somebody mark that off already?
No.
All right, so I think that's where we will leave it for this time. So, what else will inSPECTRE get up to before choosing their next mission? Will they have so much stress that they will be forced to choose an easy cakewalk milk run? Or maybe they will find
Probably.
that the milk run is hard anyway. Who knows? We will have to find out when we return for more Blade 68 on so many levels.
So
So
many
many
levels.
questions.
Vampires.